It is first phase ban.
Oh, damn. All right. I probably would have went with a
Timbersaw
yes.
makes it through.
Simply based off of their first bans. They've had like the flex ban in a sense of like the yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're just good with anything like Invoker +1. I don't know if the Timber is as necessary to me. But of course, that is the hero that's now left out. So
Hoodwink picked up by OG. I think a lot of people have been saying multiple times that it could obviously be a support, but Thompson has played it so much in his pubs, so it's up in the air. Flex pick here then for sure, and you will get your TA, Peter, on the side of Team Nigma.
Yeah, it's crazy how I said that and it happened. I just think this is like Nigma is just playing to Miracle's strengths, and I think it's a really important part of their team. I'm curious how OG is going to respond. Miracle looked the best at the major on Invoker, but TA was number 2. And it's, you can see how much they prioritize it here, because the one hero that you did mention that's left in the pool is Timbersaw. So, and there's also Dragon Knight. I think a lot of people like to take these heroes on 2-3, but they don't want to take DK if Timber's in the pool. So going with the TA before they ban 3 Miracle heroes is really interesting. Pangolier is it's a response. It was not my favorite response, but it is one of OG's best heroes.
It's one of the lowest commitment responses, I think, too. Because, like, the Viper is the one that I think just jumps out to a lot of people, but Viper is, I don't know, Viper's a little hit or miss. I don't know if it's, like, that good, just, like, shut down a TA game completely. It gets a little bit different, like, the late game thing, how farm the Viper gets.
I think TA dominates this lane. So, and that's my concern, is that OG is going to put Thompson on this Pangolier as they usually do and tell him to go mid. Because I think that this is a matchup that can get really, really bad for Pangolier. And you don't want it you want TA is going to be farmed in any game. You just don't want it to be here for her to be crazy farmed.
You don't want to make it easy.
I would love for the Thompson Viper. I guess it's kind of bad against Nyx, but didn't he used to play this hero a lot?
Maybe
Thompson
during like the
Viper?
Atos days and like the stacking days, yeah.
I'm gonna imagine that any mid hero will know how to play Viper properly. It's not the highest skill ceiling.
It's become a little bit different. I think it's become a little bit more higher skill. Also, the mid lane in general is such a mechanical lane at the moment, just because it's played around so many different bounty runes and power runes and stacking camps. Like, you have to be on point. You got to know your next 2 moves if you're playing mid.
The thing I'd like versus the TA is some way to help control up the Ancients too. Like, whether that's through the mid hero in terms of early invasions, or position 4 and 5 that are willing to roam in there a little bit more and get the blocks off. I mean, that's kind of why I like the Razor in these games too. Is this idea of actually getting a little bit active on the earlier end, plus the laning stage. I feel like it's starting to grow a bit.
Pairing the TA with the Nyx is pretty smart when you think about it, because all the heroes that we're talking about, Viper, Razor, Batrider, these are heroes you don't want to play against Nyx. So will OG just man up and pick it anyways? I feel like sometimes that's the answer against Nyx. You just need to be like, hey, I want to pick this hero, but I don't want to play against Nyx. Just do it, because you want that hero.
Yeah, it's like Doom in a sense. It's just frustrating for everyone at some point. But
yes,
yeah, Nyx really ruins a lot of heroes games though.
Yeah. It's ideal that you find heroes that are good against both. There's just not many in the pool, and to focus your draft on that can sometimes backfire.
Yeah. In this second ban phase, we got a lot of bans on the side of Team Nigma, banning out some of Sumail's heroes with the Terrorblade and the Drow Ranger. And on the side of OG, it's a little bit of a mix with the Luna and the Timber still as well. But Phoenix also removed from the pool. Are we expecting this Nyx Assassin? I think it should be a GH hero, right?
Kuro used to play at 5 occasionally when they did they used to Tusk 5s and Nyx 5s, but probably not this game.
Yeah, with the Lion pick, this is just so them. At the major, I think that at the major they were one of the most predictable teams. Right, they picked the same stuff no matter what they were playing against a couple times, but they play it so well, and I think Lion is a very well-rounded hero, and Nyx also cuts down the hero pool of OG as well. So pretty solid heroes to pick every game if you're going to pick the same ones.
Kind of looks like a PL game at this point.
Chen's back.
There we go again.
Chen's back.
Chen's back.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So we saw a little bit how it worked in game 1, and it required a lot of stacking on the side of OG with the Chen creeps. Nyx Assassin, TA, they can just go into the jungle and take those stacks at the moment.
The Leshrac is also still in too, which they might just go for again. But again, it's into the Nyx. But yeah, you can't you can't just end your whole draft based off of that one factor.
I hope Nigma picks maybe their safe laner here, and last picks their off lane. I think it's going to be really important for their off lane that they can win and punish this Chen. That was the thing that I saw in the previous Chen game, is that I felt like the Chen pick should be punished harder, but Kuro was playing the Hoodwink. Maybe a newer hero for him, obviously a newer hero for him. I don't think he plays that Hoodwink as well as he plays the Lion. So if they can have Tide is a pretty well-rounded offlaner, so if they can win this Tide Lion lane and pressure the carry, I think that's the route they should go, because I do really feel like Chen is a weak laner.
Yeah, he did get he got the creep last time from the small camp in the mid of his Radiant team. Is that something? Normally, that's something that a TA would want to farm eventually, but after last game, for the first game, would you block it?
So I actually think that teams should generally almost always block the enemy team's small camp from the beginning of the game. You know how a lot of teams like smoke and place a ward on the opposite hill? I also feel like there's no reason not to sentry ward the enemy team's mid small camp in almost every single game, because it's just a 50-50 gold trade, and it's like another thing that, maybe their mid player goes to farm it, he's missing the small camp, now he doesn't have enough gold for his bottle, right? And that's something that can win you a game or maybe even a series.
It's becoming more and more popular too. And when we talk about the mid lane being, low skill in some ways now, where there's all the water runes and everything, everyone has more opportunities to go for these little farming plays. So when you cut out that efficiency, it's just, that's one of the ways you can win a lane that's different now.
It just throws a wrench in there, right? It just, it kind of just trips them up. They're just like, oh, this is annoying.
Okay, so what counters TA and pairs really well with Chen is Meepo, so they should just Meepo, obviously.
I think
right?
That's Sheepstick was talking about it on her panel. She's a Meepo player, and I think she said
she tried to squeeze it in there. I saw that.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't know what the status is on Meepo at the moment. I still think the boosters play it a bit, but I think the Brood is kind of the go-to at the moment for that. But yeah, Meepo is. I don't think it's playable right now. I'm not sure the hero is good enough. Magnus.
Well, we got the Mag coming out for now. So far, it's been a Seb hero.
Tide is pretty good against Mag, because you can kind of always get Ravage off, even if you do get RP'd. You kind of just group around Tide almost. Not too much, but somewhat.
It feels like they're just trying to find another way to go after stacks from the Chen.
Yeah,
that's another
true.
hero that can just do that.
I feel like, yeah, I guess they are just going to put the Pangolier mid then, right? And they're going to let Seb play his Magnus in the off lane, right? Now
they could switch the Hoodwink and the Pango. If they feel Hoodwink would be a good mid. I want to have it put out there because, again, if anybody would play it mid, it would be Thompson.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think it's a very good matchup versus TA, but Thompson's the king of bad matchups, so we'll see how it goes.
We will see indeed.
Last
time they paired up a Leshrac with a Chen on the lane for Sumail for OG.
I'm assuming they want a better Empower hero than a Leshrac this draft, one would think.
I mean, Ursa.
Yeah, I think he's getting banned out, right?
Possibly,
number
but
one on the list.
These teams have done crazier things. I mean, there's a Chen in 2 out of 3 of these games, so who knows?
That's true, and he looked good versus the Centaur last game. They went for the CK instead.
Yeah, it's not bad versus... it's pretty good against all of Nigma's heroes, I think. No natural Yule's Buyer. They've got a lot of stuns. Ursa builds status resistance. Zalta gives status resistance. Crushes Tide in lane. Monkey King is the other melee abuser, but I don't think that hero has done very well recently. For real reasons. I think the hero is just weak.
Well, we got the standard PA ban for the PA mag. Peter, I know you don't like Juggernaut. but it is one of the standard combinations with mag.
I don't hate it that bad. Oh my god! Like, don't be afraid to say the hero's name.
Dude, I don't know. You've been throwing some major shit.
I do take I take some hard stances, but it's for the show, guys. Like, it's fine. It's just sorry. I like Juggernaut. I don't win when I play him, so I'm more of a PA guy or life stealer.
Actually, OG ban out the monkey themselves.
Yeah, I don't know this is really just up to Sumail, right? It's like, what can you carry this game on? I mean, you're playing it to TA, there's a PL, right? But maybe it's too hard into Tide. I was surprised they didn't ban PL in second phase, but that lane can be really hard, like Lion PL, but they have a Chen. I have no idea.
I mean, there's still what?
But it will be. Won't it be Team Nigma picking first out of this? So could they potentially go for the PL?
No, I think
OG's picking first. Yeah. They first picked Hoodwink, so they've got the 9 pick. It's all good.
My bad. Yeah. Math. It's hard.
It's okay.
Monkey King banned by OG, so they definitely don't want that. Ursa stayed in.
Wow, we're banning Troll. We're really digging deep here once the Troll bans come out. That's another hero that fell off pretty massively as of late.
Yeah, but if he has some power, Beastmaster.
Hey!
Whoa, is this Sumail Meg?
Beastmaster's also kind of, I would say, soft countered or maybe even hard countered by Tidehunter. I played a pub with Seb a couple days ago, and he was playing Beastmaster, and we exchanged some words.
Oh, you complimented him on his build, right?
We'll see if he does it again. He did
the description of this.
He did the Helm of Dom 2 item first.
Oh yes.
So I couldn't tell if he was being serious or memeing.
Okay, that would actually work in a 5-man like cheesy strat though,
The enemy team had techies, so I saw some merit to it. Okay, Furion for ILTW. I like.
Yep,
it's. We'll see how the tree synergy goes against Sox's Hoodwink.
I feel like we've got heroes into like direct counters they hate in so many of these picks. Like Beastmaster into Tidehunter. We have Nature's Prophet into Magnus and Hoodwink. I feel like it's pretty annoying. Even Pango, I think, is kind of a problem for NP in a lot of games. But to me, this is LTW's answer to like, I'm getting away from this 5-man stuff you guys are going to do, running down lanes. And I'm just going to like try and keep the map pushed out. And we're going to try and get Miracle massive.
Gotta say, I'm going OG. I can't go against them twice.
You're going for the
I've got faith.
Beastmaster.
He's after the Chen.
We dominated that game, and I was wrong about Chen. So these guys are going to crush it.
I think it's very dangerous, and I think they just lost the game attempting a very similar strategy with Nigma on the big hold. I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult with Miracle on the TA, but I think they might have learned their lesson from game 1, so I will go for Nigma.
All right, split panel. I like it. We also have the split series. That means this third game, is the deciding game. Which one of these two teams will face up against Tundra in the upper bracket finals tomorrow? We're going to find out together with Lyrical and AY.
Come down to this. Wouldn't have it any other way, Owie. We're here. The Chen has come back again. We saw what it was capable of doing in game number 1. Do you think that it has the same type of potency here in this game number 3 that we're now in? Do you like the pick?
I didn't like the pick the first game, and I was completely wrong. So I don't think my thoughts on Chen are.
And yeah, now you're recognizing.
Sorry.
Shout out there. You were muted.
I did the
I was
Lyrical.
just nodding along a little bit. It was fine. Don't worry.
Yes, the audience could hear me, just you couldn't, right?
Exactly. You're nailing it.
Okay. So anyways, I said so you can hear me, Lyrical, because you're the important one here. I didn't like Chen game 1, but I was wrong about it because I have no read on this hero at all compared to OG. But I think, you play against these really experienced captains like Kuroki, he's looking through his past experiences for the heroes that used to counter Chen really hard. I think Furion is actually one of these heroes. One of the best things against Chen push line is where they group up a lot is, as the panel mentioned, just to split up, get that pressure, and eventually, like Furion ulti also destroys the Chen creeps. It's miserable playing Chen when you can't keep your army up.
Yeah, it's one of the worst feelings ever. We should mention real quickly, we're already into a pause, which is why we're staying on our beautiful faces for the moment. And also, as you saw in the bottom corner right there, in the other game that's going on right now, Into the Breach facing off against Spider Pigs. Apparently, spoilers, if anybody wants to go watch that series, just mute for like 30 seconds, then we'll come back. All right, you're muted now. Perfect. Into the breach had a 16K gold advantage, lost a player, had to play 4v5, went down to 2K net worth. The player reconnected. They managed to salvage the game, the series, and now they're in game number 3. So just a lot of insanity all across the Western European qualifiers right now. And yeah, we're waiting for this game to get back underway. But so your idea with this Furion being able to take down the creeps, how does that pair together with like how much group up and push they've got on OG? Because with this Beastmaster in tow, Peter talking a little bit about potentially having the helm of the Overlord coming out in the later stages as well. It feels like they could run out of damage potentially.
Who will run out of damage? Nigma will run out of damage?
Nigma potentially.
I think Nigma won't run out of damage this game because of TA, right? I think she's... Like, I could see it if they had a different mid, but I think Miracle, he should have a really good lane this game, and he translated that pretty well in both previous games. I mean, he solo killed Thompson,
right?
Both of the other games. If he does that this game, I can see TA completely taking over this game. He is sort of countered by Beastmaster. It used to be a really unplayable matchup for TA when Necrobook was in the game, but that just got yeeted out of the game.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. I also want to mention, when I played Chen, I also hated playing against TA, because it felt like how you deal with raw plus HP and heals is you have modifiers like plus damage percentage damage, or minus armor, because that's more effective against the heals coming in. TA, again, also one-shots all your creeps, and the new TA Blade who goes Psyblades with the Psyblade range talent and Dragonlance, you might cleave some OG heroes off those creeps. You're hurting your own team.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And like having that low armor can just be devastating to go into that and then getting hit by the side blades on the back side of it. So that's definitely going to be something to watch for. I guess the other thing that obviously ends up mattering so much is like, do we just see the early snowball as we are getting into this game still paused up? But do we see that early snowball potential that they had from OG? Are we going to see Nigma be able to go in and actually contest those stacks? I'm wondering how that will work out for them.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what you said. A lot of the game will come down to these Chen stacks. Okay. I feel like he shouldn't have as free a lane. Like Tidehunter, Nyx Assassin, I think looks more robust to me on paper. Like maybe Nyx can even go into the jungle and follow him a bit because Tidehunter's a more stable laner than they had in game 1.
Right.
But oh, look at this. They're set up for Thompson. They knew that he was going to scout the mid lane, but unfortunately the Treant scouts him. He doesn't go for it. They were so ready. They had 4 heroes here. The stun scout up on Lion and Nyx, and they wanted to get him.
That would have been really nice if they could have found
That's
that
really
first blood.
funny, actually. I love progression on meta like that, where someone always does this trick, and then they're ready for him. They even place the lane ward mid so they would see him, even if he tried to scout them out. And instead, Chen took over the Treant, and he's scouting the mid ward.
Oh my god!
Their plan backfires a little bit. That Treant, not only does it prevent them from getting the kill on Thompson, but it also gives away their ward mid.
Although I think that it might have revealed on one of the heroes instead, and I'm not sure what the Treant's vision is, because the ward is actually up top.
If you wrap around the tower, like if you click that ward, it does see just past that top tree, so they should know where it is.
Okay.
The hero was from the left, so they probably wouldn't see it there, but who knows? It's very hard. I mean, it's easy for us with full vision, and like I'm able to click the ward, but for the players, it's not the same. Yeah. Ooh, good deny by LTW on the bounce rune bottom as well.
And No-Tail, he does spout it out right away, so this is nice for him. Able to get that D ward taken, and No-Tail, will he pay the price? The right click's coming in. The laning stage hasn't even started yet, but as the gush slow wears off, No-Tail able to walk away.
This is not good for Nigma, though. I would take that trade on No-Tail any day. He gets a D ward, and then they follow him for so long. Sumail's going to get a free, 2 or 3 denies here, and free CS.
That's great for him.
They did get all the bounce runes on Nigma, though. 3 bounce runes and 1 denied, so that's a big start for them.
Well, an early good start up there in the top lane, and we'll see if they can sort of translate that into more. The other thing is they actually haven't blocked out this camp, so Kura's going to need to body block it, and that does leave open the other camp to spawn as well. We'll see if No-Tail tries to take over some of those creeps in the early goings to get some pressure on there, as mid lane, Thompson taking a lot of Psyblade damage there from Miracle. Yeah, TA, it's not an easy matchup, and Miracle has looked consistently just so good against Thompson. I don't know if it's just sort of a player thing or if, there's some skill differential, what's going on, but Miracle's looking really freaking good.
Honestly, sometimes it's just the 2 mid players specifically. I
Right.
remember Miracle, he wouldn't go mid against no one back when like they were the 2 of the best mids in the world. Just because no one always had the edge on him. Liquid would always send Matumba Man against no one instead.
All right.
Whereas, in this matchup, like Thompson, I mean, he won 2 TIs. He's clearly a tier 1 mid player. His laning got really good in the last TI especially. But Miracle seems to have his number this series.
Yeah, in the head a little bit there, and looking pretty solid doing it as well. So we did see as the Psyblades continue to rain in on him there. Kuro getting kind of bullied back up top by No Tail, and is going to be able to go for that D ward on the small camp as well. As he took over the Wild Wing Ripper little guy. And at least in the early goings, no lane appears to like get completely dominated here. Definitely the Mag is ahead of the Tidehunter too. But actually, looking for that catch now for a punch down on a No Tail. This would be big, and mind control. Able to draw first blood. Kuro goes down afterwards, but that's great for the Tide.
Yeah, that's huge. I think both of the last games, Mind Control had really rough off lanes. This time he's against a Magnus Chen. I know Peter mentioned it on the panel, but he said Chen is a pretty weak laner, and I completely agree. Every time I pick that hero, I lose my lane. That's why I don't play him anymore.
Right.
I think the fact that Nigma are punishing it this game is really important just from like a drafting out. Like, you need to win lanes you're supposed to win in Dota.
Absolutely. Yeah, and they're able to do that now. Well, I mean, it's still not winning necessarily, right? Like, they're still behind in CS, but at least they're starting to catch back up a little bit with that kill and gain a good wave pressuring into them. In the meantime, though, Miracle, sitting in the mid, has been able to get significantly more denies, and you can see that Thompson trying to make up for this by heading back to the jungle and farming up those small camps, as well as gain a bottle refill on the bounty. Had to wait for that voice line. It's too good.
Classic.
GH.
Man, the new meld, it just does so much damage.
Oh, but Saksa maybe going to go down afterwards? No, they can't chase him down with the treant. So really nicely played there. And yeah, Seb just sitting with the Helm of Iron Will in a Quelling Blade. This item is great. 6 armor, 5 HP regen. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's one of the most efficient early items. He went Quelling Blade, just no items into the fast Helm of Iron Will.
And Kuro taking some damage. Meanwhile, bottom, they're also going to LTW as the skewer back underneath the tower, hoping to find this kill, but it won't turn into anything afterwards. And down on the bottom side, they were also able to force back Seb, which kept alive LTW. Good stun coming from GH, stop the pressure.
This bot lane is a bit concerning for Team Nigma, though, because if Beastmaster gets to start with Quelling Blade, literally no stats or regen, and gets all the way to this fast Helmet Dominator, I think he'll kick LTW out of lane pretty reliably. That means that they have pressure in this lane, where you last picked your carry, you'll be able to sort of take that tower and it might snowball the map. Top lane, though, they're going into no-tail here.
Yeah, trying to find that finish, but will not be able to do anything at all. So yeah, still though, it's a nice big wave here that's sitting pretty for the Tidehunter. And underneath the tower, Miracle trying to take down Thompson, ring around the Rosie, can't quite get him. OG have been doing a lot of hiding away in the trees throughout this series, and not been doing a too bad job of it. That's a good jump.
I think that side lane hits.
That might have been a kill right there if he wasn't careful. Miracle hitting level 6, and Thompson half a level behind him.
It seems to be the story of the series. Miracle, he's just, I don't know if it's a matchup thing, or as we mentioned, like maybe a little bit of an outskill thing or a player-to-player matchup, but he's just dominating the mid lane this series.
And meanwhile, in the side lanes, it does feel like OG has been able to make a lot happen, at least in this early goings. The Bushwhack's going to go out there onto GH. How close are we to this Helm of the Dominator? We're about 200 gold away from Seb being able to finish that one off. And we'll see what creeps end up spawning. Right now, there's a Satyr over there, but it doesn't look like that one's probably going to live that much longer as the pull is going out. Another Bushwhack, another beatdown. The strength of this Nyx Assassin just being able to sort of survive passively with all the regen he's got.
Yes, the one good thing for... Oh, they're going on to Seb bottom, but he looks to be turning it here.
Okay, a chance. Right clicks coming through. Spike Carapace, Saksa down low, can't get through those trees. The right clicks continue to come through, and they'll find that kill. Up top they were going as well. GH does fall, and LTW going to TP back home. So a refill in the mid lane where Thompson had used the Rolling Thunder while all that action was happening bottom. And as we've seen throughout this series, like in the early moments at least, there's been a lot of action, not always translating into a ton of kills though.
Both these teams are just so good at knowing their limits and sort of kiting their opponents. And Furion, he got this level 6 first, which means they should have some play timings. I mean, they're about to have Ravage top, yes, Furion ulti. Usually you can combine those spells and get a kill. But I am a bit worried now that this Helm of the Dominator has come out. He's picked up a centaur. I think he should be able to kick Furion out of the lane. Luckily, they, or not luckily, like, they managed to kill the catapult bottom, so he won't get to combine that, but top lane again.
Able to catch, skewer back, mind control still living, Ravage. And just gonna walk away from him afterwards. So Ravage down, No-Till gives the tip. The other thing, and just sort of this impending sense of doom I've kind of got right now, look in the Dire jungle. There are a lot of stacks over there. Bushwhack, in the meantime, down bottom, trying to go for some type of a play here, as Roar has already been committed, as well as the Furion ulti. Chasing down, trying to find a kill. A lot of armor on Seb, taking the tower hits. Punches in, the Bushwhack afterwards, trying to find a finish. Love the turnaround. Impale as well as the Earth Spike. They find one kill, and they TP out with the other. Seb getting slowed down, and the body blocks coming in from the tree. Seeing if they can find a chase down, and they're going to. Look at these body blocks, just encapsulated in the trees. And GH is the one that cleans it up. Dude, good stuff from LTW.
Yeah, I was scared about the Helm timing, but LTW with the perfect micro and perfect play, they managed to bait in the Beastmaster under the tower. They get this huge turnaround, and that's a missed timing for OG right there.
God, look at this farm,
they're going mid.
Yeah, I mean, Sumail's getting this farm, as you said, going in mid, trying to take down one. Kuro down low. Rolling Thunder, not going to get thrown. Oh my god, the sidestep. Saksa goes in a bit too deep, gets punished by Miracle. Thompson now trying to get the finish off there, and will be able to secure it as he just rolls on out of there. But in the meantime, this is all space being created. Mag skyrocketing up the net worth. More stacks being created.
TP and top by Furion. He has level 4 Treants already. One of the benefits of running this core Nature's Prophet, and getting this tower would be huge for them. Just opening up the map, it'll sort of allow the Ancients to be more protected in a sense, because if you can push lanes further in, it just gives you more info, and Miracle will be safer because of that.
Thompson gets the swashbuckle away. As down bottom, they are kind of setting up. What's the goal here? Are they trying to take the tower of their own on OG?
For sure, they want to take the tower. They have the Helm of the Dominator, but because they're not catching anything here. Because of that first play made by LTW and the really good TP from Kuroki, this tower is almost full HP. They have no real pressure on it. Now we can sort of see the panel was talking about. Tidehunter has always been a Beastmaster counter in Dota, and this is why. If you get to the point where Tidehunter can sort of sit under this tower, it's very hard to be a real Beastmaster. I mean, if they can't kill bottom tower, I don't see how OG's lineup functions, to be honest. They need to bring everyone here.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is, like, you kind of need that Hoodwink ulti to be able to bring them down with the Roar, to, like, get that break and then the burst afterwards, because otherwise you're just going to get ravaged. And right now, at least, Mind Control doing exactly what they need him to do. And you can see just surrounded here by 3 different heroes, but they can't make any type of a move. Mind Control throws it out. Roar is there, but the Impale comes afterwards, and Seb in trouble, going to fall. They get his creep too. And I mean, they're going to try and pressure this. Tower down to about half HP, but just throws out the anchor smash, right-clicking down this catapult. It's not working right now for OG. Nigma coming up with the answers.
And I feel like Kuroki, or whoever suggested this in the draft, maybe it's RMN, their coach, they've sort of outstratted OG in this game. I mean, there's a lot of stacks that OG took, but just the fact that you cannot take your enemy safe lane tower if you're playing Beastmaster.
Oh, GH. Oh, the stun afterwards, Kuro. finds that kill. Sumail might be able to play a little bit of cleanup, but taking down that Pango right there for the line, you'll take that trade every day of the week.
For sure. Look at this. Like, you're even pressuring the enemy offlane tower with Tidehunter. He can tank. I mean, I don't know if he's going to, but he could tank that tower with the level 3 Kraken shot. Okay, he chooses not to.
Yeah.
But this isn't looking like the Chen of game 1 at all.
No.
Their safe lane tower is dead. They can't take any towers with the creeps. And meanwhile, I mean, Sumail is farming a lot, but Miracle has been free farming on TA.
It's, yeah, I think that this TA, I mean, granted, not a ton of stacks being taken for him as they do find ILTW. And in some trouble, the drums, don't know if it's going to save him here. Roll back through, does a little do-si-do, hides away, jukes it out, and trying to TP out of there. Can they escape? No, the Bushwhack came through for the finish. Yeah, so a nice chase down. Eventually, they get it in mind from tipping. Okay, that's fine.
That's a good vibes tip. You know, you would never tip your teammate if the vibes on the team were bad or just any sort of bad feeling.
Unless it's really bad, then you might tip them as well. But
yeah, I mean, if you want to disband your team and lose the TI qualifiers, I guess you could do that.
Okay.
But I think these teams, you know, they have TI wins under their belts.
Fair enough. Kuro trying to drain out that mana from Thompson. And does finish the Echo Saber now. This has been a lot of the timing that he's looked for. But right now, God, he is so far behind the TA. Almost 3,000 gold. And they do finally bring down the Tide, who's playing too aggressive. And they catch him out with that sharpshooter.
Yeah, as you mentioned, they do have that Tidehunter answer. And they're top lane, though. Thompson's going caught here.
Going for him, looking for it. Stun comes out. He has Swashbuckle and Rolling Thunder, though. So Thompson still well within the safe zone. Seb in the area as well. And they're just actually getting this tier 1 tower for free down bottom.
Yeah, this is the most important objective for OG's lineup. Like, Chen doesn't have purpose if this tower is alive. They just will never take mid tower either. But Nigma, look at the response. They're just going straight into Roshan here.
But they haven't played against Beastmaster in a while, and this Hawk, they've got full vision right now. They know what's going on. Can they get there in time to come and contest Seb? Moving in, wants to hit it. The Impale is out, though. Miracle could finish off Roche, but instead turns to try and take down that Beastmaster. Right clicks coming through. He falls. So Roche still available to be taken. The rest of OG is trying to make the move over here. They jump out of the pit. Thompson going for the roll through, but Refraction is up for Miracle. He's fine. Trying to burn through it right now with that tornado. Get brought down low, but not low enough. The good stun coming out from that Centaur, but the Rabbit, that's the better stun. Takes down Thompson, turns on to No Tail. 4 go down. Enigma gonna claim the Roche afterwards.
And again, Kuroki, just in the right place at the right time. Thompson was trying to roll into the pit. Would have hit a really good Rolling Thunder there inside the pit, but Kuroki just disables him for so long, doesn't allow that to happen. As a result, they can play patient with the Ravage. They pick off the heroes, they don't commit to the Roshan, and just a really good teamfight win. And again, like, the thing about Chen as a hero, the reason why I think both me and PPD don't like him, and he doesn't have much success in pubs or pro games other than a game 1 from OG.
Right.
Because if you lose a team fight like this, what is Chen now? You've used your long cooldown ulti, you've lost all 4 of your crates, which is basically feeding an extra kill to the enemy team. And you're going to have to steal farm away from your cores in order to get your army back. It feels really bad to lose fights in the early mid game as Chen.
Yeah, it's devastating. And, you know, there are some other things that you potentially have, but a lot of this stuff is built around the cooldowns. Roar on cooldown for 50 seconds. Mag, he's going to have RP back up in about 30. But this is a situation now where with like Rolling Thunder down, the map is completely open for Nigma, and they have the type of lineup that can pressure with it. You've got this TA Deso done. Granted, probably needs to farm back up a little bit, but NP can be there. A lot of things starting to come together for Nigma with a 4,000 gold lead, and hopefully we'll be able to start this game back up here in just another couple of seconds. But you can see this slow and steady increase that's been in the favor of Nigma is continuing on this way.
And Tidehunter almost has a blink dagger. You know, IOTW, he's actually used 5 drum charges, and I think they've made a huge difference this game. Drums is such an underrated item for these early fights. Really made a difference in that Roshan pit, and, you know, he understands. He doesn't have some puck mid. He doesn't need to hard carry this game. If he can just play a normal Furion game, sort of support his TA, make space, Miracle is going to carry this game.
How do you feel about rebuying the drum charges, by the way?
I think I've done it like once.
Okay.
I feel like it can't be that bad, but it always feels so bad to do it, so you never end up doing it.
That's fair. I guess particularly on the NP, but maybe this is the first game for it. Kuro off in the lonesome area manages to actually throw out those axes without breaking the tree, which is nice there by Seb. Did get nerfed in, I think, a couple patches ago, which actually ends up helping with the hoodwink. But nonetheless, a nice pick off while Nigma try and push out all of their side lanes. And I guess what's the play here now for OG? Are they looking to try and, like, does their draft have any other solution besides run down lanes with each other?
No, I think the enemy has no Ravage. You need to get a little bit of map control. They would have preferred to get mid lane, but Miracle, as soon as he saw enemy heroes on the top side of the map, he instantly ran to the enemy ancients, farmed that up, and now he's pressuring mid alone. He's doing such a good job this game of, like, they just pushed a tower top, got a tower kill, and they lost 1,000 gold or more in terms of the team's net worth, just because of what Miracle did.
Good play. And again, they have to group together like this, definitely. I mean, Thompson really hasn't been able to pull that much together recently. Again, that Roche fight is that area where he's supposed to be like the be-all, end-all in terms of carries, rather mid laners, but carrying the fights in those instances, but just wasn't able to connect with it. These BKBs could be another nice timing for OG. Mag is working on one right now. Any other big items that are coming out? Tide has his blink. So they will be able to take advantage if there's like a sort of overextension, and we'll see how it goes.
And I think it's not like OG are out of this game. They have the tools to win this game, as you always do when you have a Magnus lineup. If they can land a good sharpshooter onto Tidehunter, maybe burst him before Ravage, I could see them really dominating a team like Miracle mid though. He's getting rolled on.
Yeah, Refraction burned through and didn't get his blink out in time. Good impale afterwards. Miracle trying to live, but that's Aegis down. A rare misplay, but mind control trying to catch up with this one, blinking in, looking for anybody. The spill from those side blades doing a lot to no tail. They still have Ravage available. Spike Carapace comes out, sharpshooter afterwards, breaking the Nyx. So Miracle gives up that Aegis, playing aggressively in the mid.
Yeah, and OG get out with no losses there. I mean, they used Pango roll, but that was pretty much it. Oh, they also used Hand of God.
Now it's
I guess that's actually quite a long cooldown, but I think they're very happy with that. Miracle with that Aegis, he was like stealing their ancients, playing up on their tier 2. He was just being such a menace on the map. At least with that god, if you commit RP and you kill him, you can win the fight off that.
I guess that it was only a minute and a half left, but we've seen a couple of times in this series, you know, teams go up with a substantial lead and then things start to fall apart a little bit when they get a little bit too cavalier with their movements. And
LTW has a Crimson Guard queued up, by the way.
Okay. That's kind of cool. Jump.
It's an interesting idea for sure. He's really playing the role of sort of like an offlaner from the safe lane this game.
Right.
And he has the Maelstrom, so he's still scaling, but
I mean,
he does have that full Vanguard, so he's committed.
I mean, this does get a little bit scary too. Like you talk about, like with the Beastmaster being there to potentially roar the TA, if they can all dogpile onto Miracle, it could be a problem here. Obviously, Aegis is going to be the big answer to that, but having just lost it, what are they going to find now? GH, hunting, scouting. LTW down bottom, doesn't have that much mana. Sox is down there as well. But you can tell they don't really feel that comfortable trying to play super aggressively here. Spike Carapace? Did nothing afterwards, can't do it.
Yeah, and it's even reflected a bit in their item builds. I mean, Aeon Disc is a good item, but Saxa is rushing it as a first item. He just feels like he has to be the one to run in and tank the spells. You don't really want Beastmaster to do that, he'll just die. Magnus needs someone to like sort of give him space in the fights, so you can get a good RP off, and like, same for Pangler and Chen, they can all run in first. So a cool read from Saxa here, but ooh, they're close.
Looking for it, they saw this smoke, but they were not able to respond appropriately. Seb trying to slow him down a little bit there. Mind control, looking for a chase, but it won't come in time. I think they were right on top of that observer ward when they smoked, but OG not quite reading the direction they were going.
And they almost caught mind control there. Sorry, they almost caught Seb there because Miracle managed to sideblade him off the hoodwink. You know, he barely missed him with the trap there. That would have been a huge kill for them as well. Sumail does almost have his BKB. That will be their big timing back in this game. You can always, like, sort of outplay your opponent. You know, get a skewer onto a cliff a la EG, or just burst down the Tidehunter with Hoodwink ulti.
It'll be something to watch for, definitely. Next tier of items now coming out as well. We're seeing a couple of them. Thompson, I thought they were going to try and chase there, but it really feels like they just want to wait for that second Roche that so often is like turned into how these games end up working out, or find a pick off, but definitely not committing anything over the river substantially without that. Do OG want to try and hit a timing though with this BKB and make a move themselves? They are kind of grouping in the same area, but not smoking yet.
I think they should feel like they want to. Yeah, here we go. Here's the smoke. It's just a casual two-man smoke, though. They don't even have the Beastmaster in it.
I think they thought that TA was real. The illusion.
Okay. Yeah, because they're just breaking it instantly. Noto just goes to D-Ward.
Yeah, that illusion rune making the difference right there. Standing in the same place that Miracle might have. And they end up wasting a smoke, unfortunately, on OG.
And this was sort of their big timing. It's when they had BKB and TA didn't. Miracle is very close to his own. As soon as he gets that, you'll have the BKB, you have the Crimson Guard coming out for Nature's Prophet, and he's even... Honestly, his build is really cool. Like, Crimson Guard AC drums. He's providing so much to his team just by standing around in the fights. I mean, his right clicks are no joke either, to be honest, just with drums and Maelstrom.
Right. And I guess the other thing, too, is, like, as this game goes later, you're just losing some value because of that Chen. Like Lion is going to be super effective into the later stages. Nyx is going for this Aghanims. If GH can get to that, that's going to be really strong as well. So, like, yes, you're getting some more items on these other cores, but it does sort of feel like, you know, this OG draft was always meant to go for the big push-up. Do you think that... like, they sort of just need to try and wait for the second Roche themselves on OG and go for that fight at that point?
Honestly, I'm not too sure what the best play from OG is here. I feel like they have to fight their opponent. But OG's a team that is always willing to fight their opponent if they think they need to. So perhaps they see some timing that they can wait for. Maybe they just need BKB on Pangolier, Beastmaster, and Magnus. So when they jump TA, they won't get counter-ravaged. Okay. It's a bit concerning though, because they're like, regardless of Crimson Guard or whatever, LTW is actually farming a lot, being very efficient. And Furion, he has like some 50 stack gain per level, so he will scale. Tidehunter, also one of 50.
Okay, gotcha.
Tidehunter, also one of the best scalers into the late game. Just, you know, the Smoke Blink Ravage, always a classic. He will have a refresher at some point in this game.
Right. Yeah, he is currently the lowest of the cores, but still managing to find farm here and there. And you can see just 4 Nature's Prophets have gone Maelstrom into Crimson games since TI5. And apparently Seb was one of the first ones to do it. But you can see the strength of it probably in these next couple fights with all the Zoo summon that they've got. LTW scouted out there. Axe is coming. Soxa tries to connect. There's a catch. Doesn't have BKB, doesn't have a way out. In some trouble, team trying to get there to help him, but it is going to be too late. So efficient farming sometimes leads into a pickoff, and OG take full advantage. And Roche is up in 20 seconds? What?
And he has no buyback. This is exactly what OG need. They didn't use the Roar. They only used Pangolier Roll, so they might try to snowball their advantage here.
Dude, that was the most casual, like, most important pickoff of this entire series. This is rolled into him. Oh, man. Well... they're going to know that Roche is back up with the TA trap that's in there, but do they scout it on OG?
Ooh, the creep. A little bit of miss micro. Not quite in the pit there, so they don't know yet.
Wait, what?
This is Furion's respawning because the creep just wasn't inside the Roshan pit. They're scouting this maybe 10 seconds too late.
Oh, man. And now you've got Nigma. I mean, and because it's Furion, he can get there so quickly. We're going to see how close this is, but it might have been almost dead at this point, and now they have enough time to get in position. Sentry Ward is down. Looking for that opening. They spot GH now. Ravage comes out. It's on all of them. Good BKB afterwards with the skewer out and away. Meanwhile, the Roar comes as well. ILTW still living. Goes for the Sprout to try and buy a little bit of extra time. But Seb in the pit, super down low. can't quite find that kill. They buy back on the Chen. ILTW inside the pit now, still managing to live. RP going to be interrupted, but a triple kill for Saksa. This Hoodwink is doing so much. And with no more Nature's Prophet now, they actually have an ability to take down Roche for themselves. I can't believe it went like that.
Wait, how did they lose the fight?
I don't know. BKB came out during the Ravage for Sumail is the main thing that I saw there.
Oh my god, they got like
They didn't even use
great
RP.
smoke wraparound, big Ravage, bursted down to support Chen right away. I mean, he did buyback and Hand to God. Like, I can't believe they lost that. They didn't even use RP during that fight.
Well, when things get chaotic, that is sometimes where OG will shine at their highest amounts, and that was the moment right there. That's huge. Aegis so important, and I believe that's also going to be. They have Horn Toss available now with the mags. They have some like sort of lightweight initiation to come out. Nigma, no Ravage at this point. Seb gonna be found. Impale afterwards, trying to bring him down low. Can they go for the kill all the way? Right clicks, but the roar! He gets away on nothing! 11 HP, he will eventually die. Meanwhile, though, the RP comes out. It's gonna connect on the phone with the Rolling Thunder back onto them. They blow up the Nature's Prophet and that Nyx Assassin. Mind Control has to get out. Trying to escape, but the Horn Toss pulls him back in. And they're going to eventually, well, no, TP out. Mind Control, oh, it's not quite enough. Saksa able to find the finish, and Kuro gets taken down by Thompson. OG blow this game open. 4 dead again. What a series.
Man, I really thought Nigma was in control of this game. At the last fight, like, maybe the Chen heals were too much. Like, he bought back, he got full hand, got TPN on the Shrine with mech. Meanwhile, when I forget who else bought back, but they're going. Miracle, he's gonna double melt someone. He can actually burst.
Looking for it. Blows him up. They weren't ready for that one. That burns through the Aegis, and Sumail has to back out. Oh my god.
Double meld, very strong. It's minus 23 armor, and with Magnus only having 20 armor, it pushes him through that crucial 0 armor point. You go from, I don't know what this is, like 54% reduction, so you're hitting for 46%. Instead, you deal like 20% extra. It's basically 3x damage.
Well, that definitely worked, and Sumail is going to be wishing he bought that plate mail instead of the freaking Hyperstone. That is unfortunate for OG. I mean, again, they're still going to have, I think, the cheese on somebody, probably. It might have gotten used in that last fight. But regardless, a smoke out now. And back and forth this series goes. Nigma moving up to the top side. There is no ward in the area for Nigma, but OG have a ton of vision.
And they're smoked up on Nigma here. They have the Blink Ravage.
Looks for it, jumps forward, potentially. It comes out, they find that Hex. BKB out from Seb, gets caught. This is uphill into 1, and Thompson able to get out of there just barely. He gets the roll off. The rest of them trying to run away. The Ravage has already been used. Sumail, this is on that skewer back. Looking for anybody here now. Thompson is so low. He's got to run, looking for the sideblade still, but it's not going to connect. BKB out now from Sumail, trying to hit from the low ground. Thompson, he bashes Miracle, disarm afterwards. The BKB comes out, trying to find something here, but the bash again! And then the RP, the bash, the disarm, the RP, but Kuro tries to salvage it. Follow-up stun coming from GH. Do they have enough damage? Miracle, he needs another reflection, but it is not going to come out. No refraction left. ILTW gets taken down for the kill. OG somehow pulls something out of nothing. They have the follow-up as Kuro is going to get ran down, killed off. How do they keep winning these fights?
Thompson got jumped by literally 5 heroes, and the Chen heals just managed to barely keep him alive. Notel even had a solve in the middle of that fight to keep him alive at the end there, and they get this insane turnaround. I mean, Nigma, they didn't want to commit the Ravage onto this Pangler, because why would you? It's a Pangler. You're caught by a Lion Hex, an Impale, a Finger, everything. But if you look at Thompson's items, all 5 of his main items under Mask of Death give him tankiness, and he has his Cocoa Flames for even more reduction. There's just too much tankiness and healing coming out.
Well, and
I thought they wouldn't lack that. Like, you actually asked at the start of the game, like, would Nigma lack damage? I'm like, no way, they have TA.
right.
But it's really looking like they are. Notel, he had an Ice Ogre creep and a Wildkin creep. And I think these small differences, these just small amounts of bonus armor, they kept Thompson alive in that fight. And this is the thing about Chen, you can never see his impact. That's why I hate the hero. You know, I want the accolades, I want to look good, but Noto, he's probably having impact we can't see. I don't actually know. I don't know what the hero does still.
That's fair. That's a fair point, man.
He probably is owning though.
I mean, the thing about it too is like you see these couple of items that Nigma are trying to go for to mitigate this, right? Like Spirit Vessel on the Tidehunter, for instance, doesn't have any more charges now. They have to get that first kill for him to get it. Might need to look towards like a Scotty or a Shiva's on somebody potentially, but they need ways to mitigate this healing. It's been so important in the past, and well, feeling like it's important in this game number 3 here as well. Trying to stay alive in the upper bracket, looking for
dive bomb onto Miracle.
What? Disarm is there. Miracle gets roared. Sumail there on top of him again. They got him caught. He is dead. The dive bomb into the roar. Kuro goes down afterwards. Those Hawks are dangerous. And they take down 3. OG! 14,000 gold lead, and they're running it down a mid lane. It felt like it was completely in the hands of Nigma, and OG blew it wide open.
This is crazy coming out from OG. These heroes that you don't necessarily expect to dominate this meta. And Beastmaster, I thought he wouldn't be able to play Dota this game because he couldn't take the safe lane tower. But he's managed to just have so much impact, basically for nothing. I mean, the Hawk stunning TA. Who does that?
Look at this. They're absolutely owning right now. And OG setting their sights on the tier 4 towers afterwards. They gotta bring heroes home. Look at how quickly these tier 4 towers are going down. They get buyback now on the TA. You got potentially one more shot. Oh wait, he got hit by a sharpshooter. Goes down, has buyback afterwards. They need to buy back on everybody. You have to fight right now. Ravage is up, but OG, they're gonna retreat. They get away again. 22,000 gold. Oh, they're thinking about the fake back. They're ready. You wanna see some things? RP into Skewer, into Centaur Stomp. Never mind, Centaur's dead. Rip the
Hawk's
dream. Looks for it. ILTW didn't pop his BKB. Horn toss pulls him back in. ILTW in no man's land, going to get absolutely murked here. Pops the ulti, he knows he's dead. Now the turn, pulls back Miracle, trying to find that kill. Can they do it as they run him down one by one? OG, they can sense it. They want to continue on in this upper bracket, but you can see they're still playing it safe. Seb walks away again. Sharpshooter for round 2. If they can get this kill onto mind control, this would be huge. No Ravage yet. Nigma trying to hold out.
Is Chen broken?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, the way that they're making it look right now, it looks like it. It's crazy.
Because he lost his lane pretty hard this game, right? He was unable to do the early moves. But just the team fight, like the auras combined with the healing, just allowed OG to take a lot of these team fights that I thought they had no business winning. The Roshan one, the one top lane where they jumped Thompson. Yeah, just incredibly impressive like read on the team fights. I think every fight, someone on OG is living on low HP because they're sort of kiting in and out of the fights. They're never afraid to disengage if they think they can take a little bit of a better percentage fight later. You know, they are killing these throne towers very quickly, but they're talking about it like when Miracle buys back, we're gonna run away, and they just ghetto instantly. They lose nothing for 2 buybacks on Nigma.
That's fair. And this is exactly what the way that you want to go. But with all their ultis back off cooldown again, gotta be wary of these pesky birds dive bombing in and finding that short stun that allows the initiation afterwards. Horn toss pulls back 1-2. Big old jump there. Kuro in trouble. Ravage with the BKB reaction immediately there. Miracle got his BKB off as well. The RP comes out, the 1-3, tearing them apart. Oh, and just like that, OG, I set on the tier 4s. That's GG. They got a date with Tundra. Man, they make it look so easy. This freaking Chen hero. Who would have thunk it?
In this game,